record on computer. All right. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chair Pilates. So, as most of you know, some of you have seen the timetable for January, and there's not a Chair Pilates in there. There is a Pilates class on the timetable. But what you know, those that have been with me a while, I sometimes throw in like bonus classes, and then they will stay on the page. So if you find that the workout has helped you, or you feel like you need to do something a little bit different, then you can go to the on-demand content and access any videos that we may not have on the timetable in the live classes. So this Chair Pilates is obviously being recorded and it will stay on the page. So it's going to be really good for like sciatica, but it's really, really good just stripping things right down. So allow you to think about your frame, think about your posture, what muscles are working during certain movements, and it's relaxing as well. So it's about half hour. And as always, if there's anything that I do and you need to make any modifications because of contraindications, injuries, anything like that, then allow yourself freedom to change the exercise, maybe go back to something that we've done previously, or just perhaps don't go as deep, perhaps if I'm doing like 5 reps, perhaps do 2 reps, so it's completely up to you, and that you are really aware and are in control of your bodies. All right, so I need you to sit at the, good morning, Barry. So I need you to sit at the front of your chairs and place your feet parallel and hip width apart. So just allow yourselves that little bit of time just to make sure you're not leaning on the back, and allow yourself to make sure it's a chair with a back and not a stool. Hopefully everybody has one. All right, so I'm going to just turn to the side just to show you where I am on the chair. So you can see I've got quite a big gaping back. Now, most of you know I'm not the tallest person in the world, so I'm going to come quite far forward. So if you're a little bit taller, you might be able to go a little bit further back, but just allow your feet to be flat on the floor and hip width apart. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow our arms to come up. So raise the arms up, and I want you to reach towards the ceiling. Feel as if you're trying to pull yourself up off the chair. So really take that inhale at the top and then exhale at the bottom. And again, so inhale and exhale. And I'm going to pop a little bit of music on. And as always, if you feel the music's too loud or I'm not loud enough, just let me know on the chat box. I always like to have a little bit of background music. Okay. Good. So just allow yourself to work at a pace that suits you as well. You can go a little bit quicker if you need to. Inhale at the top and open. Good. And inhale. Now this time we're going to come halfway down. And I want you to sort of take your arms back as if you're really like trying to open your chest, and then you're going to roll it forward. And what I'm going to do is, while you're doing this, I'm just going to turn my chair to the side so that you can see the shape of my back. And we're going to do that a couple of times. So I'm really allowing myself to be like a big bird in flight. So I'm opening the chest, and then I'm closing, rounding, really pulling my belly button in. And again, I want you to sort of x-ray yourself, really get in tune with your body shape, and just think about what muscles are working. So your sort of a back extension is coming in here, and then a flexion, so you're rounding the back. Good. Just do 2 more. Good. All right, so allow yourself now just to bring one arm up, and you're going to reach over. Exhale, and then switch. So allow yourself to run your hand down the leg of the chair, and it should be the front leg, and that should keep you on the side. And think about your breath. You inhale as your back comes to neutral, and you exhale as you curve the spine to the side. Good. One more on this side. Good. Now arms come up. And you're going to take a twist. Maybe use the back of the chair to help you twist, and then the arms come up, back to the center. Now really think about lifting up. I want you to squeeze sort of that pelvic floor area, so squeeze your muscles underneath and twist. Inhale. Exhale. And up. And exhale and twist. Good. And one more on each side. And exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so we're going to allow the legs to open. And allow them to open as wide as you can, and just make sure you're nice and secure on the chair. And you're going to take a twist and drop one shoulder. Bring it to the middle and the other side. Now I'm, as you know, short, so I'm going to just lift onto the balls of my feet, just because I feel like I need to go a little bit deeper, and my legs aren't quite long enough. And if I go any further on my chair, then I'm not going to be, I'm sort of going to topple over. So it's really a thing that you need to gauge yourself. And just allow yourself to twist as far as you can. Oh. Good. And this chair Pilates is always fun, and it's always quite useful to do first thing in the morning, or perhaps if you know you get a little bit of aches and pains in the evening before bed. Oh, good. Then just bring the legs back together, and you're going to allow the hands to come onto the chair. Make sure again you're at the front of the chair, and I want you to lift your knee off, and you're going to swing the leg underneath and extend. 8. And it's a control, so I want you to sit that back nice and straight. So squeeze your muscles. Inhale. Good. And what happens here is you can feel your hip joint and the connection engaging. 4 more. 3, and your core automatically just tightens up because of the movement. Good. And then you're going to lift the other leg up underneath and extend. Perfect. Good. And if you want to, just pop your hands on perhaps your side obliques, and they should be, you know, the muscles are there, and they should be engaged. Engaged means sort of tightening up, so they're not relaxed. Good. Now from here, last one, we're going to go into some chair sits. So place those feet into the floor. You're going to stand, and then you're going to come down, but not put your bum back on the chair. So you're sort of going to go about 1 inch, 2 inches, and we're going to do, so there I am sitting on the floor, or sitting on the chair, and I'm going to drop my seat, and I should be about 1 inch, and then stand. So let's do 8, 7. Now squeeze your inner thighs. Imagine you've got like a small football between your knees, and you're squeezing your inner thighs. And just make sure you don't sit down on the chair. So, good. Three more. Good. And 1 more. Perfect. Now sitting back down. So once again, allow yourself to sit up as tall as you can. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to do a top hat lift. So your hands come to your head and you lift up. Extend. Top hat lift. Pull up as tall as you can. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Hand to the head. Top hat lift. Exhale. Good. Perfect. Now just allow those arms or those elbows to lock. And just take a twist to one side. And then a twist to the other. Good. Now opening to that T shape. See or I look like a fork. Yeah, so that fork shape. Now my hands and my head are all in line. I want to keep this here and I want to lift up from the hip joint. I'm going to move my back forward. And when I feel I've got to my maximum point, now I shouldn't be rounded, I shouldn't be flopped over, I should be nice and straight through my back line. And then I'm going to use my back muscles to pull myself up tall. So let me just turn to the side so you can see this one, because this is really, really important. My head and my arms stay in line. I'm lifting, I'm squeezing my legs. I come forward, and then I engage my lower back muscles to sit back up. So I'm going to come and check on the room. So if you have got your cameras on and you want me to check your back, your head and your arms, then just turn your chair to the side. Good. And we're going to work this for about 30 seconds so that you can work as quick as you want, as slow as you want. Really focus on that shape though. That's it, yeah, perfect. So elbows, everything is in line. Just go to your maximum point and then engage like as if you're lifting from the upper back. You know, your shoulder blades should be like squeezing together to lift up. That's it, well done. Good, lovely, lovely, lovely. There's 5 more seconds there. Good, all right, well done. So from here, now you're going to pop your hands onto your head and you're going to start to lift the knee and twist. And then the other one. Good. So this is really good for bringing your obliques in together. So, you know, like I've said it before in classes, you know, like sometimes doing 100 sit-ups, well, probably doing 10 twisted or 10 bicycles is more beneficial, especially for ladies. So we pull everything inwards and it helps everything in that core area squeeze and support our frame. So doing lots of twist work for us is more beneficial than doing 500 sit-ups a day. I promise you. Good. Good. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can lift both feet off. Oh. But again, you have to do what you're most comfortable doing. Last 5 seconds. Always return to that open back. Good, all right, well done. So I want you to now bring your one foot onto your knee. This is where we get into our sciatica area. So opening from the hip joint, knee is out, foot is rested on this thigh. Now if you're not quite here, if there's too much pain, and I always think pain is different from that ache. If it's uncomfortable and it's aching, then just try to sit up as tall as you can and relax yourself into the pose. But if it's painful is very, very different. Pain is causing you, it's uncomfortable, it's unbearable. So don't do this. Just try crossing your legs over instead. Okay, so there's always a modification. But if you're here, I want you to focus on keeping that knee out and the hip joint open. And we're just going to come and bring our bodies down towards our leg or towards our foot. And every time we exhale, I want you to try and go a little bit deeper. Opening that knee as much as you can. Good, and as you get lower, you can actually sort of use your elbow or use your body weight to open that hip a little bit more if you can. Really, really does get into that sciatica area. Good. That's it, just a few more seconds. Perfect. And just unravel and then pop the other leg on. So once again, you're going to open at the hip joint. That's it, knee is out. And just settle into that pose first. So allow yourself just to be comfortable for you, and then start to bring your body down. So I do have a little bit more aches and pains in this hip. So I'm going to take my time with this one. I'm not as flexible on this side, and you'll find that you'll have a dominant side and you'll have a more flexible side in most things you do, and that's okay. But it's really important that you work both sides. So just because you have one side that's more dominant than the other doesn't mean that you don't work the other side. It's really, really important, and if not more important, to work the less dominant side. Good, and just remember with each exhale, just try and bring that body down a little bit more, getting into that sciatica area, opening the lower back out. Good, and unravel the leg. So I want you to roll the chin down and reach down towards your toes. Just allow yourself to sort of hang the head heavy, relax the body, bring the body down towards the knees. So this is really, really good as well, just for sort of releasing tension in and around the neck, and then roll it up. Okay, so one more time. So really pull the shoulders back, open the chest, take an inhale here, and then shorten the distance between the shoulders, chin to the chest, roll it down. Head is hanging heavy, relaxing down as much as you can. Okay, good. Perfect. So you're just going to lift onto the balls of the feet and then bring the, so this is strengthening the ankles now. So I'm not sure, hopefully I've lowered my camera enough. I always think I'm taller than I am. Obviously not. So I'm sitting on the edge of the chair again. I'm just going to work the ankle joint. We always forget about the ankles. So let's go 10, 9, 8, squeeze the calf muscles, 7, 6, now make sure you're sitting up as well, 5, so you don't lose that posture, you're always thinking about lifting in the frame, 3, 2, 1, good. Now heels into the floor, pull the toes up, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1, good. So now we're going to come and bring ourselves using the seat of the chair, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to keep it that way just so nothing gets in the way. So I'm just going to start by just softening my knees, and I'm going to come into a couple of cat-cows. So my head comes up and I sort of really stick my bottom out and I'm arching my back. See, I'm dipping here. Then I'm going to push that lower back up towards the ceiling. So I'm rounding into a cat position. So if you've done a bit of yoga, you'll be familiar with these poses. If not, it doesn't really matter. You're just allowing the spine to really work through 2 phases, and it's this arch and then that dome position. Good, really start to release tension as well. Inhale and exhale. So push your energy through the chair. Stick your bottom out. Exhale. And every time we round or pull the belly in, that's when you exhale. And then when you stick your bottom out and you're opening your chest, that's your inhale. And exhale. Good, my feet are still about hip width apart. All right, well done. So what I want to do now is I want to extend my right leg back, and I'm going to extend my left arm forward. So just check my line out. So if you look at me, hopefully, depends on the height of your chair, but you're going to extend the leg back, and the arm that's extended, so it's your right leg and your left arm, and I'm going to bring the knee to the elbow. Now if that's too much, you can bring the hand to the knee. Okay, but start to lift. Now once you're confident, you can extend it out. Okay, so 30 seconds. You can either touch the floor behind and work from the floor, or you can work from that sort of arabesque position. If you've done a bit of bar with me, you'll be familiar with that lifted arabesque. Okay, so I'm just going to check in on the room. Really nice. So what we want to think about as well is from our heel to our fingertip is the line that goes through. So squeeze in that core area. And just remember to breathe. Ah, lovely, well done. So we're working this for about 45 seconds. You've got about 3 seconds left. Good, now bring everything back down, and what we're going to do now is bring your feet back down and bring your elbows down onto the chair. And what we're going to do is sort of circle the hips. So think about just allowing that hip roll around. And again, this does get into the sciatica area and into the hip joint as well. And then make sure you go the other way as well. So just imagine you've got a hula hoop. Your body is obviously blocking the hula hoop because it's down on the chair, but you can still have that motion that you need to circle the hips. Good, all right, so bring everything back up, and this time you're going to extend the left leg back and the right arm. So start with the toe down on the floor, and maybe just discover what level you need to be at. And then again, depending on where you are on your Pilates journey, or what type of fitness level you're at, you can decide whether you want to stay connected to the floor, whether you want to lift, whether you want the hand to touch the knee. So there's lots of different modifications that you can do on this exercise, but it's really, really good for the core, this one. So think about that line. Once you've got to your move, line from the heel to the hand. Strong core throughout the whole thing. Good, just checking in on the room. You're doing really well, guys. Good, now think about squeezing your butt cheeks as well as you extend, and then that'll tighten up that side oblique area again. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so this time we're going to bring our feet hip width apart, hands are on, and we're going to do a couple of calf raises here. My back is straight, my belly button's pulled in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bend, and then roll it up. So this now, back of the chair, you're in line with the back of the chair this time. Thank you, it's okay. Okay, so we're just going to allow our hand to be on our hip, and you're going to extend that leg out, and you're going to lift. 8, 7, 6, flex the foot. 5, 4, 3, so we're strengthening in and around the hip joint. 2, 1. Good. Now just allow your hands to come on top. You can put one hand on top of the other if you're the same way as me, and the same leg that you just did those hip openers with, take it back, and you're going to bend the leg and extend. So 8, 7, and this is strengthening all the muscles that support the frame. Squeeze your butt cheeks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, and in. Good. From here, step onto the other side, Move the chair across. Hand onto the hip. Extend the leg out. Flex the foot. 8, 7, lifting up here. 6, 5, relax the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now allow the body to face the chair. One hand on top of the other. Same leg goes out. Just kick it back slightly so it's like a low arabesque. And you soften in the support leg 8 times. Let's go. 8. All control. 7, 6, 5. Squeeze the leg. Squeeze the butt. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, perfect. Now from here, we're going to come back onto the chair and we're going to open the legs again. So up onto the toes. Now if you're super tall, you can keep the legs down, but for me, I need to come up onto the toes. My hand is going to go across and I'm going to reach over. Good. And the other way. Perfect. Now hands onto the hips. We're going to extend one leg and see my foot has gone quite close to the leg of the chair, and I'm just going to roll my hip. So if I do this facing you so that you can see what shape I go into. So I'm here, my leg is quite close to the support and I'm rolling my hip. So my body is pulled up and I'm just opening the hip, extensioning of the hip joint. So I should be like in this position. Good, and that's really getting into that hip joint. So just make sure you allow yourself to lift up. Now the arm that's not closest to the back of the chair, so the opposite arm goes up, and you're going to reach forward and pull up. Reach forward and up. One more. Good, and roll. So from there, let's roll the other way. So most of my butt cheek is sitting on the chair, and then my hip is slightly rolled off. I'm going to get into that first. I'm really going to open my hip joint here. Increasing mobility in the hip joint, increasing flexibility. Good. Now the arm that's closest to the back of the chair, we're not going to use. We're going to use the arm that's not closest. We're going to extend forward and lift up. Okay. And one more. It's okay. And roll. Okay. Just close the door for me, Logan. All right. And then arms out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, lovely. Bring the knees back together. All right. So just allow yourself to ground those feet back to where we were in the beginning. Feet hip width apart. Allow yourself just to sort of shake your legs out, shake your muscles out. And again, pull the belly in, keep the back nice and straight. And there's lots of different things that we can do on the chair. So if you have enjoyed the basic chair Pilates and you'd like to see what the next level chair Pilates is, there's so much content on chair Pilates that it should be a standalone class in the centres and stuff. But it's not. But there's so many different chair exercises that you can do, so many benefits to it as well, that I'll pop some classes, and as we go into January, into February, I'll pop some bonus classes up on the page, as I always do. So yeah, once you've settled into this one, you can then allow yourself to try the next level. So it's like chair Pilates, or it's like medium chair Pilates, and then there's advanced chair Pilates as well. So let's allow ourselves to finish up here. Inhale. Turn the palms up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, pull it down, heart center. Good, now open One hand over the top of the head, and then just allow the arm to gently pull the head down to one side. Good. Other arm out. See my hands or my fingers are up towards the ceiling. Other arm over. Oh, there's lots of tension here. Good. And allow the arms to come back behind the back. Open the chest. And inhale, arms up. And then you stand, so push down. Well done, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Chair Pilates. So I'd love to have some feedback on how you felt that went, and if there's any sort of things that were different or things that were good for you, or you just enjoyed it because it was totally different, or whether there was things that were in the set and you thought, oh, I'm not quite sure on that and would like a little bit more information, then just message me on the page, guys. These classes will be up, and all the videos you find on the announcements tabs. As always, we are going to be cleaning down the announcements tabs, because at the moment there's about 200 videos, but we're going to be taking that down to about 70 to choose from for the new year, and then obviously all our new videos will go up. So thank you so much for joining me. Ooh, chat box already. Let me just stop.